correct. I looked at that PowerPoint so many times, and I still miss that. Oh, Whitestone Divine Letters. All right, so does everybody have... Oh, where did it... Oh, thank you. Does everybody have... You should have a pen, an envelope, a piece of paper, and a white stone. If you don't have all of these things, please just raise your hand, and the ushers will come around and make sure that you can get one. Did you get one, Chris? Yeah, okay. Anybody in the booth got one? Jeremy, did you want one? Okay. So there's some people down here in the front. So I like to call this the naming and claiming, because the first part of the service that we're going to do, Carolyn, can you give me the clicker, please? Is just the clicker. Just the clicker. Thank you. The first part that we're going to do is think about what is one word, one idea, one divine idea that is going to be sort of your anchor for the year. Now, it could be, if you were here last week and we pulled the 12 power cards, it could be the power that you picked, right? But perhaps it's something else that will augment or supplement or work together with the power that you picked last week. And a way to think about it, which I think is just so important right now, is who are you called to become in a world that needs your light? This isn't about what you already are. You already are what you are, yes? You're already bringing that to the world. This is about how are you being invited to grow and stretch yourself over the coming year. And this is about a spiritual understanding of yourself. This is about how you are called from the deepest understanding of yourself to be in service to the world. And I gotta say that with everything that's going on in the world right now, our political system is broken. It is broken. I don't care what side of the political system you're on, I think we all can agree that it is not functioning. That is not where we are going to find answers, solutions. That is not where change and transformation in the world is actually going to happen from. So where is it going to happen from? I believe that it's going to happen from right here. I believe that spiritual communities who are committed to integrity and authenticity and principles of truth and love and light and compassion, that we are the ones who are being invited to transform this world. That we have a mission that for me has never been clearer. That we are being invited in some way to show up perhaps in a way that we have never imagined ourselves showing up. That whatever business as usual has been, can you see how business as usual is no longer operational? It's not. And it's not just not operational because there's somebody over there who's in pain. It's because what is happening right now is impacting every single person in this country. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, this isn't about politics. Can you hear what I'm saying? This is about values. This is about living into what our values are. I don't care what you vote for. What I care about is what do you stand for, right? What do you stand for day to day, moment to moment? And so as we step into this Whitestone, I really want us to not just, it's fine if it's just about your own personal life. There's no guilt here. There's no shoulds. But what if we as an entire community were thinking not just about what my word was for me, but what does the world need right now that I am being invited to become? Because if we were already it, the world wouldn't look the way it looks. So we're all being invited to become something else. And I get that it's hard to think like, oh boy, I got to unhook myself from all of my security, from all the systems I have in place, from all the ways that I feel safe and secure, and I've got my habits and my patterns, and I know when I do this, and then I do that. That's business as usual. And business as usual is not enough. It is not enough. So that is my call to you today. What if we as a community step into that larger call of service? And what would that look like? Right? What would that look like if we were to catch the God idea of our life as a transformational place on this planet? You can already see what that social justice choir, that was a God idea I caught, right? That wasn't my human idea. That was me sitting in meditation and just catching something that was in service to this community, but also in service to the world. It's not one or the other. It can be both. So as we step into this meditative process, I just want you to invite you to make it bigger. To make it bigger than perhaps you might be thinking that it could be. Does that make sense to everyone? So what we're going to do first is we're going to meditate and catch the Whitestone word. A word, a phrase. Maybe you catch 2 words. Try to keep it to 1 or 2, but sometimes it's hard, I get it. But the idea is, what is going to be your touchstone? Do you remember in A Wonderful Life when he finds Zuzu's petals? They're a touchstone in that story. It's a way back. It's a way to remember what is actually important. And that's what the white stone is. It's a touchstone for you for the coming year. Right? So we're going to listen for what that word might be. And then we're going to step into the writing in the divine letters as to how that word is going to show up in the world. So what I'd like everyone to do right now is on the envelope that you have, you're going to write your address. You're going to write your name and address. You know, being specific is a good thing. You're going to write your name and address, because we're going to mail these back to you in November. Okay? So write your name and your address. If you know where you're going to be in December, you can use that address. Right? We usually mail them right around Thanksgiving. Okay? So do that right now so we're not thinking about that later. Okay? Just put your name. So once we get to the part where you're writing your letter, you're going to be able to just put that in the envelope and seal it, and then we'll collect them all from everyone. So what exactly are we doing when we're writing the divine letter? Because I want to make this just a smooth thing, right, where we're just going to move through it. You do not take your word from the world. You take your word to the world. Does that make sense? So we're not getting something and we're writing it down. I'm getting all these wonderful things from the world. What we're writing is how we are bringing whatever that word is to the world. Yes? How are we going to live it? What is that going to look like? What is it that we're being called to accomplish? What is it that we're being invited to be in the world? So we call it naming and claiming. It's very big in Unity for those who are newer, is that we understand ourselves as the creative force of the divine. We are it. So when I claim something like understanding, which is my power, and ironically my wife's power for the year, right? It means that I'm being invited to not just be spiritually understanding of myself. I'm being invited to live into how do I activate spiritual understanding in the world? What does that look like? And as I'm saying that, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm going to have to write another book. Right? But that's what I mean. Like, how is it going to show up in the world? And if you say something like, oh, boy, that's a good thing. That means it's a God idea. That means it's not your human ego. It means it's a God idea saying, you need to do this, even if you don't want to. This is yours to do. Right? Everybody feel that? So that's what we're writing in our divine letters. And that, whatever your word is, can absolutely impact your personal relationships, can impact your job, can impact all of your personal life. But there's that other piece. How are you going to change the world? Because I got to tell you, I don't want to leave the world we're in right now to my godchild. She's 10, and I don't want to leave this for her, because this is a mess, right? So how are we going to create something else? All right, so I'm going to back up, and we're going to step into the Whitestone. So everyone clear? First, we're listening for our Whitestone word. Once we get that word, then we're going to move into writing our letters. Now, the way I write my letter is I actually write it to myself. I say, Dear Deanne, right? It's my divine self writing to me, saying, you were amazing this year. Look at what you accomplished, right? You lived into your word, whatever that word was, and then I sort of spell it out. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. All right, Jeremy, can you give us a little something here? So I'm going to invite everyone to take a breath. We got all the practical stuff out of the way. And to just close your eyes if you wish. And we get to quiet our heart again. And quiet the mind, because the Whitestone word is not a word that's coming out of our intellect. It's arising from the deepest wisdom that we are. And so we just quiet. And we open our heart, open our mind. Touching that stillness at the very center of our being. Touching and grounding ourselves in our true nature, our divine identity. That is love, that is grace, that is joy, that is beauty, that is understanding, that is power, that is mastery, that is the truth of who and what you are. Oh, and as we quiet and listen, we just allow ourselves the opportunity to ask, what am I being invited to become? What is it that is mine to do? What light of mine is being invited to shine more brightly in the world? How am I being invited to grow? And what am I being invited to anchor for myself, for my community, and for the world? What is that divine idea that is mine for 2026? And just allowing yourself to listen to the murmurings of your heart. Listen to that deep call of what you're naming for this year. What will root you? What will resource you? What is it that is your white stone, your anchor in this year? And so let's just rest in the silence together as we continue to listen. Who or what quality of God am I being invited to inhabit, to live as this year? Let's listen. And as we continue to listen, perhaps there's a word or a phrase, something that has resonated through. You're invited to write that on your stone. And if nothing's coming through at the moment, that's okay. Just sit with the energy of what it is. Sit with the vibration of what it is. Sit with the feeling tone of what it is. And if you hear two things, that's okay. And in your own time, after you've sort of sat with the word, I'm going to invite you to sit with how is that going to show up in your life? How are you going to express this quality, this idea? What does it mean that you're capable of? What does it mean that you can accomplish? What does it mean that you get to do and be in the world? And as you think about what that could be, just start writing to yourself. What is this year going to be for you as you live into your white stone word? How will you bring this to the world, to your relationships? I always write mine in the past tense, like the year's over. And whenever you're ready, you can just place that in the envelope. And seal your envelope. You can sign it. I sign it. You can do whatever you want. It's your letter. It's your letter. And then I invite you to just hold it. Like, think and sit with it and feel the energy of what is possible in every fiber of your being. Just feel the light that you are. Feel the support that you have. Welcome the unknown, the uncomfortable, the leading edge, perhaps. Welcome the healing that you are inviting within yourself and to the world. For as we claim more and never less of our true nature, of our Godness, this is truly how we create a world that works for everyone. So I invite you to see yourself doing all the things that perhaps you wrote. Feel into the energy of that alive in every cell, every atom, every form and function of your being. And see that energy just radiating outward, feeling it connect up with everyone who's in this room, everyone who is online, everyone who is anchoring love and truth and beauty and harmony, whatever your word is or phrase is for this coming year. Just feel the agreement. The agreement of goodness. The agreement of right use of our powers and our abilities. The agreement of compassion for ourselves, for each other, and for the world. How good it is to know that we are this powerful, that when we say yes, a way is made out of seeming no way. And the way is a way of love, a way of peace, a way of harmony. How grateful I am for this opportunity to be still and know. Oh, I invite you to know this with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. And if you still need to write, it's okay. You can bring it next week and drop it off. Like, it's okay, right? You want to write yourself another letter over the course of the week? Drop it off. It's all good. If you're watching at home and you were part of the virtual kit, you got an envelope that is addressed to Unity and Marin as well. So you're going to take this envelope with your name and address on it. You're going to stick it in the envelope that's addressed to us, and you're going to mail it back to us. Now, what I'd like everyone to know is that the prayer chaplains hold these in prayer all year long. Okay? So they're held in prayer. They're anchored for the entire year. And when you get your letter back, how many people in here got their letters back? Okay. How many people in here had something in their letter where they were like, oh, I didn't do that. That didn't happen. Anybody have that? Okay. So I don't want you to be beating yourself up about it. What it means is it's the next level of discernment. Was that actually mine to do? First and foremost. Secondly, like, okay, so is it something it is mine to do? Well, maybe it means I get to step into it this year, right? We don't beat ourselves up about these. These are here to guide us, to support us. Do we feel the energy of it? It's not something that at the end you're going to get graded on. No one else is going to read this letter unless you want them to, okay? So we don't hold this as something that we like crucify ourselves with. We hold it as an ideal that we are inviting ourselves to live into every single day. And are we going to fail sometimes? I should hear a resounding yes. Because if we had it mastered, it wouldn't be part of this process. So we're going to fail, we're going to fall down, and is it all good? It's how we grow, right? It's how we grow. So what is going to happen is when we do the offering, you're going to put your letters in the offering basket. Please put the really good pens in the offering basket too, so that we have them again when we need them again. And what we're going to do right now is a little practice with our white stones, right? So what I'm going to invite everyone to do is introduce yourselves to the people in the room, and this is going to get a little crazy. So if you're an introvert, feel free to just sit with your eyes closed, and you do not have to participate. Is everyone okay with that? If you see somebody with their eyes closed, you're just going to leave them alone, okay? No, really. We have introverts, and this isn't for everybody. So 2026 is our year of empowerment, right? Last year was our year to thrive. 2026 is our year of empowerment. And the way we empower ourselves is not by being tough and hard. The way we empower ourselves is through anchoring ourselves in our spiritual principles, by understanding who we truly are and cultivating a mastery of ourselves, both within, that we then means that we can show up in the world in a different way. So what I'd like everyone to do for this little practice, so that you can start to own your word a little, is that you're going to introduce yourself to people in the room, especially people you don't know, and you're going to say, "Hi, I am Bridge Builder, Peacemaker, and I am empowered for 2026. And then that person is going to tell you what they are. Yes? Sound like fun? Yeah? Just notice the resistance to claiming it. Right? Notice the resistance to claiming it out loud, right? And when you both say it, then you're both going to look at each other and go, "Yes, we are." Okay? You're going to support each other. All right, go. I know y'all are going to love doing this, so go for it. So this doesn't have to end. Come on back. 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 I need like a giant bell or something. What do they do in kindergarten? Okay. That was great, actually. So let's sit down. Okay, so what I want everyone to just notice how perhaps at the first part of that, there was a little bit of awkwardness and a little bit of resistance and a little bit of, ooh. Because there's a vulnerability in sharing who we are becoming. It's a vulnerable place to stand there and claim something for yourself like that, yes? But could you also feel how the energy started to rise in the room? The more people you told, the more affirming it became, the easier it becomes. And if it still wasn't easy, it's okay. It's a leading edge. That's an amazing thing to have caught the thing that you're like, whoa. That's an amazing thing. So just breathing into it, looking around this room and just knowing that we're all going to anchor that for each other. Yes? Just look around. How many people are supporting, right? So you're not alone. Whatever it is you are becoming, you're not alone in your becoming. Was that fun? It is, right? It's like, ooh, I stepped out. I did something that was, ooh, that was fun. All right. What's next? Carolyn's next. All right. So what I would love for you to do is in hospitality in the courtyard, like continue that. Continue introducing yourself that way. Continue asking each other, who are you this year? Right? Who are you this year? What have you named? What was the name that you caught this year? Huh? You don't have to ask each other, and what are you going to do about it? It's enough to just know that someone's anchoring the idea that you are saying yes to. All right? All right, everyone take a moment. Just put your hands over your heart. And just breathe into the I am, whatever your word is, right? Yes, I am bridge builder. Yes, I am. Say it to yourself quietly. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And just know with me right now that everything we each need, individually and collectively, we have to support our growing into what we are calling ourselves to with ease, with grace, and with the utmost compassion. And so it is. Amen. Ashe.